In the cold, still hours before dawn, Crimea shuddered under the weight of yet another unrelenting surge of Ukrainian assault. Missiles slicing through darkness, drones whispering over occupied soil. Moscow's vaunted cloak of protection tore at the seams. Near Volokhovka, in the Razdolnensky district, 2 strike drones tore apart a mobile column from the 31st Air Defense Division. A radar, the eyes in the sky, obliterated. Not far off, at Donskoye in Simferopol district, a Pantsir-S system, one of Russia's prized guardians against threats from above, was crippled by a drone strike. 1 serviceman wounded. And in the shadowed barracks of Vitino, Saki district, Neptune missiles allegedly struck with cruel precision. Barracks, a training facility, the mess hall, a club. Buildings meant to sustain, now trembling, now broken. This was no isolated strike. It was a message carved across the peninsula by fire and steel. That Crimea may be under Moscow's flag, but its nights are restless. No peace, no sanctuary. Every radar destroyed, every system disabled, every roof shattered, echoes one truth. The occupation may endure on maps, but under the sky, in the dark, the land pulses with resistance. The Russian military faced the massive use of unknown balloons during a long-range drone attack on Moscow and Tatarstan, reports Russian media RBC. Sources in the Russian Defense Ministry claim that the peculiarity of the nighttime drone attack on Russian regions was the large number of balloons used in it. This was the first time they were used on a massive scale since the beginning of drone attacks. There were really a lot of balloons, and they have no accuracy, a source familiar with the night attack stated. In the morning, the Russian Defense Ministry announced that 69 Ukrainian drones had been shot down overnight, but no balloons were mentioned in the report. Instead, Russian monitoring resources recorded their appearance. The Russian resource Rossiya radar tracked the flight of balloons in the Moscow region and Moscow, Chuvashia and Tatarstan, Yaroslavl and Tver regions. According to the resource, the detected objects near the Russian capital flew at an altitude of about 10 kilometers and allegedly carried a payload, a warhead. It is noteworthy that large passenger and transport aircraft fly at the declared altitude. The appearance of unidentified objects on these echelons could disrupt air traffic and harm the operation of Russian air defense systems. This version is confirmed by the footage of the incident with the night flight of a heavy transport aircraft in 124 Ruslan at ultra-low altitudes directly over Moscow's buildings on the night of September 23rd. On Monday evening, the mayor of Moscow announced 41 downed drones that were flying at Moscow. The attack caused a halt in air travel, but local officials have not reported any consequences on the ground. In the skies over Moscow, local residents recorded the flight of drones with an aerodynamic scheme typical of Ukrainian UJ-22 Beaver aircraft. The fall of unknown objects, which sounded like a jet drone or an anti-aircraft missile, was recorded in the Moscow region. As a reminder, on the night of September 20th, Ukrainian drones struck the Saratov and Novokuibyshev oil refineries, causing large-scale fires. At night near Kupiansk, the 14th Brigade took out 2 Russian Bukhankas, UAZ-452 van, and a motorcycle. The Kupiansk axis has once again erupted with intensity as Russian forces push with relentless pressure but face mounting losses. Ukrainian defenders, entrenched along the Oskil line and the approaches to Sinkivka, have repelled multiple mechanized assaults, leaving wrecks of armor smoldering in the mud. Russian artillery continues to pound Ukrainian positions, yet counter-battery fire and drone strikes steadily silence their guns. Skirmishes rage through the forest north of the city, where small assault groups clash at close quarters, each tree line turning into a battlefield of attrition. Despite Russia's attempts to rotate fresh units into the fight, exhaustion is evident, and supply lines remain vulnerable to Ukrainian fire. The tempo of strikes from both sides shows no sign of slowing, but the balance tilts toward defense. Kupiansk stands under the storm, battered yet unbroken, while the cost for every Russian advance grows heavier by the day. At the UN Security Council, Poland's FM Radosław Sikorski told Russia, "You will never rule us again," accused Moscow of imperialism, said Ukrainian drone strikes bring liberation closer, and warned Russia not to complain if debris falls on NATO territory. "You have been warned," he added.
I have only one request to the Russian government. If another missile or aircraft enters our space without permission, deliberately or by mistake, and gets shot down and the wreckage falls on NATO territory, please don't come here to whine about it. You have been warned. Thank you.
They are probably mad. Hungary and Slovakia were not invited to the September 26th EU video conference on creating a drone wall along the bloc's eastern border. The meeting, called by EU Defense Commissioner Andrius Kubilius, will include 7 frontline states: Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Finland, Poland, Romania, Bulgaria, plus Ukraine. At Defense Tech Valley 2025, Militarny spoke with a representative of Toloka, a company that develops underwater drones. Toloka 1000 is a diesel-electric autonomous vehicle with a composite body. It can dive to a depth of 1,000 meters, has a diameter of 1.5 meters, and can carry up to 5 tons of payload. The drone is equipped with a rechargeable battery and electric motors. The submarine can operate for up to 3 months when recharged by a diesel generator. It performs monitoring, reconnaissance, surveillance, and strike missions. The range is up to 2,000 kilometers, and the speed is 5 to 15 knots. Testing of onboard equipment is currently underway. After that, the drone is scheduled to undergo sea trials. If the results are positive, the drone will be put into mass production. At the same time, the company is preparing the Toloka 400 and Toloka 200 models for mass production. Toloka 400 has a range of 1,200 kilometers, a payload of over 500 kilograms, and a gasoline engine. The body can be composite or metal. The metal version of Toloka 400 can be submerged to a depth of 30 meters. The drone is capable of conducting search operations or acting as a kamikaze. Toloka 200 is a small drone with a range of 200 kilometers, a payload of 20 kilograms, and a speed of over 15 knots. It is equipped with inertial navigation, radio communication, internet, and a radio frequency guidance radar. This vehicle can perform mining, reconnaissance, mine detection, attack as a kamikaze drone, and operate at shallow depths. All drones can operate autonomously or in groups united by an IP protocol. They communicate with each other via acoustic modems or radio. Above the water, they are controlled via satellite communications, while underwater they are guided by inertial navigation. The models are equipped with artificial intelligence to recognize ships by acoustic signatures. The manufacturer uses imported engines, electronics, sonars, gyroscopes, navigation equipment, and hydrophones. They can also scan the bottom or an area and perform mapping.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.